Hi everyone, welcome to this reading. I have my crystal ball off to the side, so I will be scrying throughout this message. If you're new to my channel, my readings are a little different. If you're returning, welcome back. You know how we do. If it doesn't resonate with you, if you're forcing the story to fit or arguing with it in any way, just leave it behind for the people who it's meant for. So channel members, you do have a collective that was posted yesterday, so definitely check that out. And if you're interested in the channel memberships, that link will always be in the description box below. Now, we are using some scrolls from I Scry with Steph. I'll have her link down in the description box below, so if you haven't checked out her channel, definitely do so. And let's begin. Okay, taking a step aside and allowing spirit to pass through me. Opening up to receive information. Okay. I feel like that one shows up a lot for this collective. That middle, and this one does too. All three of these actually show up quite a bit for this collective, so just in different orders. And I'm seeing slightly different things in them. Right now, whoever I'm reading for, your path seems to be taking you in a different direction than you thought that it was going to. It's like we're leaving something behind. This may be something that we always thought we were going to be part of. It may be a person. I'm seeing it here as like this airplane that's leaving this individual, right? It doesn't have to be a person, but I do feel that this is representing some sort of situation that was home base or a way of being for us, and we're leaving that behind. I'm being drawn to the number 25 down here, so 2 and 5, it may be a change within a relationship again, or it may be that number 7, which maybe we're going inside and we want to be alone for some time. It's almost like a retreat to relax or a retreat to heal. Or to think for someone. Now, in the past, what I'm seeing here is I'm seeing right here, these two, they almost look like fingers pointing. So we may have been a person who has been scapegoated a lot in our life, like being used as someone's scapegoat, or having a lot of projections placed on us. There's almost an element coming through in this where we have this feeling that I was never seen clearly, and I'm saying that because right as I'm trying to step into that energy, I'm seeing this eye on the back of the scrolls. Okay. Now, this mat is marked past, present, future, so I am reading it this way. We may have had to heal, because self is on the top, we may have had to heal that sort of energy that everyone's going to think that I'm doing this, and so I have to step on eggshells. Someone here may have had to step on eggshells quite a bit inside of their past. This may be one reason why we're experiencing this separation from whatever it is, but more than that, I just think that we've gotten ourselves to a place where we're understanding that we want things that are healthier, right? We want things that are of a higher vibration. I do feel that there are some almost like information downloads taking place inside of this collective. We have the Hierophant popping out on that, just kind of confirming that for me. We are learning some kind of lesson here. I do feel that this Hierophant is also representing a guide, or a guide that is assisting somebody currently. This one. And some of you, there may be this energy of King of Cups. I don't know if this is a person again, or if this is where we are trying to balance our own emotions inside of our life. There is an energy that this King of Cups is tied to this Hierophant, and so this seems to be one of the lessons that we are learning, is how to manage our emotional energy, our psychic energy, and how to not simply give that away, right? There's this element to this, that a person is learning that I have a right to be here. I have a right to take up space. It's that kind of energy. And this seems to be a very big karmic lesson that somebody is learning for themselves. It's a life lesson that someone is learning inside of their own evolution. Now, this is taking us into this energy over here, where we are releasing some sort of, okay, hold on. We have the Devil card, which I can't actually show on camera from this deck, and then we have the Four of Pentacles. And so this is almost the energy that we're coming into is really digging deep into the things that we're holding on to. So even though we're leaving something behind, it may illuminate for us other things where we're holding on, things that we haven't necessarily been able to let go of or process, or areas where we might hold on to people that aren't right for us. Here, what I see here in the future I'm being very drawn to this right here. Oh, it's not going to show up on the camera very well. It's done in white ink, so it's not going to show up here very well because of the lighting in this room. But it almost reminds me of like this child and the child's body, and this child is sitting here, and it's holding on to like, you know, there's a telescope things that you look out at, like at parks and stuff, and you can see like the ducks on the other side of the lake. It's almost like we're looking for something. There's an aspect of our inner child that's trying to look for something. We are moving into an energy where it's this leaving something behind, digging through the things that we aren't able to release readily, and then we're hopeful, looking towards the future, trying to find something that moves inside of our sights that we're like, ah, that's it. Right? So whether that's about a career, or it's about a person, or even maybe it's about our own particular path and the direction that that's heading in, we're looking out for something here in the future. There's something very significant about the end of February for someone, and that significance does feel a little bit like it's a turning over of a new leaf. And that turning over of the new leaf feels like the reason why we're doing it is because we're trying to step into this energy here. It's the 10 of Cups, right? Our happiness. Now, with this crow showing up in the clouds over those other crows, somebody here is gaining like a higher perspective, and this is what's causing them to want to leave this situation behind. It's almost like this is a demarcation in front of me of the past and then the future. And in this future, there is a significant amount of healing that's taking place. I do feel that whoever I'm reading for, you've already undergone a significant amount of healing even to get to this space. But there's like the residuals that we're going to be uncovering that really start to unblock different areas of our life. So if you've been experiencing, for example, with this Four of Pentacles, blocks in your finances, this is something that's going to alleviate. You're going to get to the bottom of what those blocks are. If you've been experiencing blocks in love with the King of Cups here, I think that you're going to discover that as well. Again, heavy life lesson energy coming in with this Hierophant card. So somebody knows that, you know, whoever I'm reading for, if this is your message, you're going to know that. You're going to say, I'm going through a lot of things right now, and I can really tell that I'm learning a lot of lessons, and who you are right now is not who you were 6 months ago. It feels like that. There's also things that we tolerated in the past that we're no longer tolerating. I want to know a little bit more about this child looking out. Okay. The dogs are going at it here. So I have the Three of Swords here. Now, the interesting thing about this is that this is giving me a little bit of a different vibe, and it's because of the energy, the imagery here. These swords are all piercing this crow, and the way that this is standing out to me is it almost feels like the crow from this. They're wrestling. It feels like the crow from the Devil card, and so it's almost like this child is looking out optimistically. So our inner self that's really ready to play and really wants to have possibilities and wants to self-express, that aspect of ourselves is looking out across the future and at things that are coming towards us, trying to get a higher perspective again over situations so that it can eradicate any kind of devil energy that's coming our way. The Three of Swords in this context, with just with the imagery on this card, it does feel like we're protecting ourselves from being hurt, and it doesn't feel like an overprotection. It actually feels quite healthy. Okay. There's an interesting byproduct that's coming in from this energy, though. It feels like in some ways there's some, again, these blocks are being removed, and that feels like it's opening up our life in order to receive, in order to find love, in order to have things inside of our life that we weren't able to have before. The card that's coming out for that here is the Botanist, and this says parenthood and legacy. I want to talk real briefly on what this card always means to me, and I don't know what it's supposed to mean, but what this card means for me is those things that we cherish and we love, that we cultivate. Someone's learning to cultivate the things that they love inside of their life. This brings me back a little bit to yesterday's reading, where someone has learned to stop placing the importance on the negative things inside of their life, and they're placing more importance on the beautiful things inside of their life, and because of that they're able to have that energy grow. There's an abundance of very beautiful energy that's coming in for somebody here in the near future, and I feel that the first step to that here is breaking free of something. We have the Hound, loyalty, chains, and promises. There may be a situation that we are involved in. I don't know if there's something inside of our life right now that I feel like it's this thing that we're trying to leave behind. It almost feels like we've stayed too long because of a sense of loyalty, or because maybe we made a promise, or because of this devil energy, something that had bound us. So again, karmic lessons kind of comes in here. Okay. This came out yesterday. So if you haven't checked out yesterday's reading, I will link that at the end of this video, just because there's heavy themes that mirror yesterday's reading. One of the ways that I feel like someone has overcome this idea of everyone's always projecting onto me and I have to step on eggshells is that somebody got very clear within themselves about how to express, right? That for me is what the painter is about. This is productivity and creativity. Maybe you started getting into more of your creative nature. Maybe you started trying to do things that you could be proud of. But this is really where we start to solidify our own value inside of ourselves. So someone here has really learned to do that. Okay. We have the Dancer again. It's just reaffirming that self-expression and strength. You found strength through your own self-expression. This one. And right now, one of the energies that we may be having, that we seem to be assessing, because I am reading this as though it's falling underneath this Devil card and this Four of Pentacles, is a level of over-generosity that we are exhibiting inside of our life. Again, areas where we give too much. And I'm getting that because we have the Muse, generosity, and naivety. One of the things about the Muses is that there was always like this search to control them. You may have people, because you give a lot of energy, who seek to control that, right? They want you to give their way. They want you to do things their way. And you have that anytime you're offering something. One of the things you may be trying to eliminate here is the tendency to concede to that, right? To give in, to placate. Again, that would stem back to this eggshell energy. Stepping on eggshell. Okay. Okay. And then what it's bringing us into, this healing and this wrapping up of these lessons, is bringing us into the adventure, responsibility, and expectations. This is really about good boundaries. Someone here is learning this lesson about very good boundaries. And in order to do that, someone seems to be leaving things behind, something behind. I'm going to pull a couple more cards here. Let's see which one. I'm hearing 3 from this deck. And for anybody that's going to ask, because I know people always get curious about the decks that I'm using, again, the scrolls are from Ice Cry with Steph. I have her linked in the description box. The first round of cards that I used are the Murder of Crows Tarot. The second, these cards are the Citadel. And the third cards I'm using are the Goetia Tarot in Darkness. Okay. All right, so just reading the archetypal energy of these cards, the first one that comes up is the Two of Cups. This is about the way that we partner with others, the way that we partner with the universe, the way that we show up, the way that we allow other people to show up. This seems to be the major lesson that we're learning right now. Again, we have the Hierophant coming out for a second time. So again, just reaffirming that this is about a serious lesson inside of somebody's life. And then this brings us into the Four of Cups. The way that we show up, the way that others show up, and the disappointments that we have from that. Sometimes the disappointments going back to responsibility and expectations. Sometimes we're disappointed because we expect things from people that we shouldn't be expecting. And sometimes we're disappointed because we don't expect enough, right? We don't necessarily expect people to show up the way that we should be expecting them to show up. Treating us with respect, not allowing that bar of respect to lower, for example. And so someone here is learning some major lessons about what they require from the people inside of their lives, from the situations inside of their lives, whatever whatever this happens to be. It may even be something that we require for ourselves, right? We may be eliminating an aspect of ourself in terms of habits and beliefs and patterns and negative thinking in order to try to have better boundaries with ourselves. So this reading can speak to many different situations. I'm not going to try to narrow it down or peg it. I actually feel like it's important to keep it open so that it can speak to the people who it's meant to speak to. And this is a huge lesson that somebody's learning, and this is an important lesson. After we learn these types of lessons in terms of boundaries and what we're expecting from our reality, this is really where we start to navigate in healthier directions. Again, I do think that there is perhaps a guide that's leading us through this journey, because I do have those two hierophants are showing up underneath this higher perspective crow, and it does feel that whoever this guide is, they may be throwing us a little bit of like a breadcrumb trail here and there, like, hey, this is the right way, this is the book that you should read, this is the reader you should watch, this is the teacher you should learn from. So whoever's message this is a good place to be. This is a really good place that has a lot of things that we start to realize and we start to assess, and it really puts ourselves into perspective. And I find a lot of people who are in this energy, they tend to come out of it with more self-esteem, because they start to understand, oh, okay, this wasn't necessarily my responsibility to begin with, but this is my responsibility over here. And it really starts to put things into perspective. And this is a great foundation to start making really great choices for yourself in your life. So whoever this is, I was about to close it out and I heard pull 2 more cards. So we will. Okay, and I'm hearing to pull them from this. Okay, bottom deck. Okay, yep. This is really about working on what it is that we need to be happy, to have the life that we want here. 8 of Pentacles represents work, sometimes hard work, but it's a craft that we love and we care for. It's reminding me of this botanist card. And then the second one is this 9 of Cups. The 9 of Cups represents wish fulfillment, right? Having all the things that we want, all the things that we desire. And this is like almost a solitary card. So someone here may be, again, going into a little bit of a hermit mode in order to heal, in order to really build themselves as a person. And we have the 9 of Pentacles showing up on the bottom, which is the self-made man or woman. And when we have this self-made man or woman, this is really where we start to work on our own foundations, working on something that will last, so that even when disappointments happen, it doesn't throw us off our game, right? This is where we build our finances, build our spiritual selves, our emotional selves, really get ourselves into a place of being present and aligned, so that we can focus more on our happiness rather than getting pulled around by situations, building our boundaries and learning how to protect in appropriate ways. So this is beautiful. Again, she has that hawk on her hand, which is reminding me of this sky crow. So someone is really cultivating a higher perspective, where they're not really focusing on all the little details. They're looking at the whole thing in order to ask themselves, is this right for me? Is this right for me? Is this right for me? And really that only comes when we do the search to dig inside and understand who we actually are. So they're restless, so I'm going to go take them for a walk. This is all the energy I'm really getting for this. I hope that this resonates for you. If this resonates for you, please hit that like button. And until next time.